getting old, man. I think it's tendonitis. They called it. Oi. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine, yeah.
Brilliant. Nice. Thanks for doing this, man. I know it's kind of. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I probably don't have as much time as last time, I think.
No bother. I've just been listening to your record, and I've been through it since last night, and I shared it to a few friends, and they all love it. So we'll just talk about that if you wanted to go through it, because I really like
Yeah,
it.
sure. I
It's
think,
called "Remembered in Exile," right? Songs and ballads
yeah.
from Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
So the first question I've got is Nova Scotia. I mean, what exactly is Nova Scotia?
What do you mean? What is it?
I mean, is it Scotland? Does it just mean Nova Scot? Is it old word for Scotland? Or
No, it's a province of Canada.
oh, that's right. Okay. So are all the songs related to like Scottish people who ended up in Canada? Is that right? So,
Yeah.
ah, okay. And did you? And most of them are like old songs that you didn't write. Did you write any of them?
No,
Aye, they're
they're all
all.
traditional songs. So the project was it came about. There's a guy called Pete Johnson who's from Nova Scotia, which
Mhm.
is on the eastern seaboard of Canada, and but he lives in Toronto now. But he was getting quite interested in the sort of music from where he grew up. And he knew my music and he knew my record with Mary. Mary and I made a record together about, I don't know, 10 years ago. And so, yeah, he asked us to, if we wanted to make this record looking at songs from Nova Scotia, which had kind of Scottish roots. I mean, sometimes it's not very clear whether the songs have Scottish roots because there's also, Irish and English and all other kinds of people who ended up settling in what's now Nova Scotia. So, but I was particularly interested in finding songs which were specifically Scottish, kind of identifiably Scottish origin.
Aye,
So that's
a lot of my father's friends ended up in Canada. It must have been a thing to do in the
uh-huh.
early 70s. I think a lot of people went over there.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, do you know whereabouts they went?
Toronto, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Aye. But I noticed that one of the songs was from Luke Kelly. Was that a Chieftain song or a Dubliner song?
It's a song, yeah, Peggy Gordon, it's a song that he kind of made famous. Yeah.
But they're ancient, right? Traditional ancient songs, eh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess so. I mean, most of them these were all collected in the 20th century by a woman called Helen Creighton. But some of them will be based on, some of them are versions of ballads which are like centuries old. Yeah. And some of them are probably a bit more recent. Like I'd say Peggy Gordon's probably a bit more, well, it'd be more recent because I think it was written in North America. I don't know whether it was written in Nova Scotia or some other part of North America. But yeah, some of the other ballads are like, really old Scots ballads that ended up in Canada.
Well, they're really really beautiful. Anyway, the first one that I really liked was Hind Horn.
Oh yeah, thanks.
I mean, they're all great, but that one stuck out. I don't know why. I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's something about the words. Where were you bred? And pale and worn. And these words that really stuck out to me.
Uh-huh.
Where I
Yeah,
mean,
it's an interesting song. I think it's probably one of the oldest songs, there. Well, certainly the story is really old.
it's a
You
funny
know.
question because where were you bred? I mean, it's people always one of the first questions when you meet someone or where are you from? And I mean, for the past I'm a bit cantankerous, so I would always say, "Oh, I'm from Palestine," just to see people's reaction. I was at a meditation weekend, and there was like 200 of these sort of I don't know how you would describe the sort of yoga types, and they were all saying where they were from. And I just said Palestine because I was in that kind of mood. But where were you bred? I mean, I suppose there's a Scottish English thing going on there as well, right? In a lot of the songs.
Uh, Possibly. I mean, in some sense, Scottishness is defined in relation to Englishness.
Aye, aye. And then I was going through YouTube and I ended up somehow in Germany with this song about Palestine as well. I don't know, I keep getting back there. I was trying to get away from it, but there was some sort of medieval German music that was they were singing about Palestine and there was bagpipes, and I never knew the relationship between sort of Celtic music and German music and bagpipes. I thought it was
Mhm.
a completely different language, but it seems not.
Well, I mean, there's bagpipes are quite widespread really in Europe. You know, everyone associates them with Scotland, maybe Ireland as well. But yeah, you know, you get English, French pipes, Portuguese, Galician, Spanish, Italian pipes. You know,
I suppose people say they're from France originally, but no one really knows, right?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's probably some things that like predate the pipes, like the Leonidas in Sardinia and things, triple pipes and things like that, that are like kind of like bagpipes, but without the bag. Like they haven't invented the bag yet, you know. So
Right. Right. So there's I can't pronounce a lot of them. I can't really pronounce the names. Mari Negen is the first song. Is that how you say it? Mari Negen?
Mary Nian Donal.
Mari
Nian,
Nian Doro.
Nian means daughter, so it means Mary Donald's daughter.
And is that Gaelic?
Yeah,
It is, but it's like
I mean
ancient Gaelic as well, right? It's
there was a huge Gaelic migration to Nova Scotia, particularly to Cape Breton, which is a sort of northern part of Nova Scotia, the northern island of Nova Scotia.
uh,
It's now joined to the rest of Nova Scotia by a causeway, but you know that's quite recent. Before that, you'd have to cross with a boat or a ferry. So,
wow.
but yeah, so on the western coast of Cape Breton, there's huge Scottish Gaelic settlement from the Highlands and Islands. You know.
Have you been there yourself? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, Mary and I were, you know, Pete Johnston invited us to Nova Scotia to make the record. So we went there and rehearsed and recorded the album there.
Wow, you recorded it there. I was going to ask
Yeah,
that. So it was because it was record. When did you record it? About a year ago or less?
about la not last summer, but the summer before,
Right.
in the early summer.
Yeah, I love the double bass and the fiddle and the harmonies are great as well. It's just pretty. I always like the male and female like always. It's always interesting to me. It's like
Yeah,
just
good.
it's always like a conversation. Each song's like a story, like as well. It seems like
Yeah,
castles and it's always people getting married and
yeah.
is it true that is there one of the words crumpled mind? Is that one of the lyrics that came out to you? Am I getting that wrong? I think that was in Catherine Jaffrey, Smothered Hearts and Crumpled Minds. Is that right?
That doesn't sound familiar to me,
Ah,
but
I just like
it's nice hearing anyway.
that. So anyway, you're in the
Yeah.
West End at the moment, aye?
No, I'm in the south side.
Oh, good, aye. Because I think last time I was back, I passed you in the Byers Road, but I was with the kids. But I'll be
Yeah.
back instead if you're around. It'd be good to. Are you playing?
Yeah.
Are you on tour? Are you playing any gigs?
No, well, I'm going to um I've got some gigs next month and then May, but I don't have anything for the rest of this month. It's been quite
So
quiet kind of
next
period.
month, that's April.
April,
And
yeah.
whereabouts are those?
Well, I play in the group. Do you know the group Current 93?
No way.
Yeah.
Really? Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm playing in Current 93.
They're not something to do with psychic TV and all that, the kind of strange pagan electronic stuff, right? No?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it kind of came out of that, maybe came out of the same kind of scene. Yeah.
I had an ex-girlfriend who was actually involved with them, and
Oh, yeah.
she toured with Anthony and the Johnsons. Her name,
Right.
her name's what was her name? I think I don't know if she's still involved. Who are the two guys? It's two guys, isn't it?
Well, David Tibet's the main
Aye,
guy.
him, of course.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
where's that? Is that in London?
We're playing in London at the Union Chapel, and then we're playing in Hastings
Wow.
because
This is
because well,
big
David lives
guitar.
in Hastings, so the past few years, I think I've been involved with the group for about 8 or 9 years now. So
All right, really?
the past couple of years, we've done gigs in Hastings and London. So obviously, Hastings is a lot smaller, so
Her name's
quite
Joey.
intimate shows.
Her name's Joey Icono. I don't know if she's like a DJ, but or I'm
Right,
pretty sure she's involved with them as well.
right. I don't recognize the name. No, I don't
She's
know.
based in Berlin. I don't know. Is he in London still? Yeah.
No, Hastings.
But oh, is that okay? So are you going to play guitar with him?
Yeah, I have been playing guitar, acoustic and electric guitar mostly.
And what does Dave Tibbett do? Is he just electronic stuff? Or?
No, he sings.
Right. That's a big surprise. I'm interested to hear that.
Yeah, well, I played on a couple of like the two most recent albums, and yeah, hopefully there'll be more albums. Um, yeah, but got a few gigs coming up.
Right. Okay. Have you recorded with them as well?
Yeah, on the last two albums.
Okay. So I was quite shocked because it's quite like dark electronic music. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. It's quite dark electronic, no?
Um, it does have that element to it, but I mean, the lineup at the moment there's Andrew Lyles who does kind of electronics,
Mhm.
and there's René van Hout, a Dutch piano player.
Okay.
Aloma Ruiz Boada, who is a Catalonian
Oh,
violinist based in Barcelona,
all right.
and Michael York, he's based in England, who plays like pipes again and sort of woodwind flutes
Okay.
and whistles and so on. Yeah, so that's the kind of main band, and then
And
there's
it's still
David, an
it's still
Italian guy.
Italian.
Sorry?
Does it go under the name Current 93 still? Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that okay? Because that's been 20, 30 years he's been doing that, right?
yeah, maybe even more like 40
Wow.
years. Yeah,
Right, 40. Dave Tippett's like some legend of that kind of scene, isn't he? Isn't he been in loads of bands? Dave Tibbett.
I think I think Car 93's been his main,
Main thing.
but he's, yeah, been involved with other projects as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
If I'm passing through London, hopefully I can catch that.
Well, I think we're playing on the 4th. No, wait, let me just check the date.
4th of April.
It,
That might fit.
yeah, I think it's the 4th of April. Yeah,
Eh,
in London. Yeah.
That's a midweek gig because I know that I've got my cousin's having her 50th that weekend. So that'll be like a Tuesday, Wednesday, I think.
No, it's a Friday.
Not a Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, are you going to tour the Remember the Next L thing?
I hope so. Yeah, I'm hoping that we will be able to announce some live dates soon. Yeah, my agent's working on some dates at the moment. We might have to postpone the tour. I'm not sure. Hopefully, it will be this autumn, but we might postpone it till next year.
Right.
Yeah, we'll
Depend,
see.
depending on what.
Depending on whether we can get more interest than we
Aye.
initially got.
No, I mean it's good. That's the thing about like, yeah, it's hard to hard to promote. I don't know how you promote these things these days, man.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing is, it's just difficult because the record isn't out yet and people don't really know what the project is. So maybe once the record's actually been out for a while and people have a better understanding of what it's all about, they'll be
Yeah.
more inclined to want to book us.
I mean, are you going to put physical out? Maybe.
Yeah,
Aye.
it'll be on LP and CD, and yeah.
The,
Hopefully we'll
the,
get a chance to tour in Canada as well, maybe next summer.
right.
This sort of the summer festivals are quite a big thing over there, I think, because they've got the climate for it, they've got the weather for it. So Yeah.
Is Nova Scotia like north of Canada? Am I right?
Yeah, it's, I mean,
Such a big
it's
place.
not that far north, really. It's like on the East Coast. It's quite temperate, in summer. The winters are harsher, but summers are quite mild. You kind of see why people from Scotland would have settled there, because the summers are probably more pleasant than Scottish summers, but the winters are probably a bit harsher.
Right. Maybe it'll be part of America in the next year. You never know what's going to happen next.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Who is your agent? Maybe I can try and sort out something in Mallorca as well. I don't know if you're in Barcelona, it's quite easy if you got a gig there to jump over. I
But yeah,
remember.
well, I've got a European agent, but uh, yeah, I could put you in touch. Yeah, I'm not don't have any plans to be to be touring in Europe really at the moment. Apart from in May, I'm going to be in the Netherlands, but
Okay,
nowhere further south really.
right.
Hmm.
And so the cover's brilliant as well. Is that the same cover, the same person that done your last cover? It's a really beautiful
Oh,
drawing.
it's a guy called James. I never actually met him. He was Canadian artist. I
Okay.
think it was in Toronto that Pete knew, and so Pete, the bass player, and the guy who kind of made the project happen. He suggested this artist. Yeah, and
Well,
so the images are all kind of based on the songs,
wrong, right.
illustrating the songs.
I mean, there was one about a lost cow. Am I right in thinking someone lost their cow in Drumfee
Yeah.
Hon How'd you say that? Drumfee Hon
Drimmondon.
Drummondon. Okay, that's like it's not about drumming, is it? No.
No, it's not about Drummond, no.
So
I mean,
some
it's probably Irish, that song. It's probably originally Irish. There's definitely an Irish song in the Irish language that it's probably related to.
so they lost their cow. Did they find the cow or?
The cow it says the cow rose up again at the end.
All right, because there's a lot of religious, spiritual imagery. Am I right in thinking there's something about water and wine in that song as well? Is it something to do with turning the water into wine, or am I completely mistaken again?
I don't think there's something about that, but
Okay, it's
I
just
wonder.
a lot.
There, I kind of wonder whether it's a sort of allegorical song in a way about maybe even about Ireland itself. Often the
There's a lot of like fighting, weddings. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm completely. I've listened to it a few times. I get the soldiers are due, right?
yeah.
What's that one about? Then?
Well, that's a Robert Tannahill poem, the poet from Paisley, like a sort of contemporary of Robert Burns.
Okay.
And the song must have gone over to Canada, and then there's a different version of the words, and it's called "Farewell to Nova Scotia," and it's kind of like the anthem of that province. It uses the same tune, and it's kind of based on the Robert Tannahill's poem, but there's different words,
Right.
about more about leaving Nova Scotia, whereas the Soldiers of Due is kind of about leaving Scotland to go to war. Um,
War in Canada or war against the English or I'm not sure, right?
it's not specified in the
All right.
song, but I suppose maybe whatever war was going on in the 18th century in Robert Tannhill's time,
Okay.
probably somewhere in Europe, you know.
Well, when I played I shared it to a German friend, and she was the one that said, "Oh, that's the same song with different words as these German medieval." She recognized the melody as a ancient German song. I suppose these melodies are quite universal, maybe.
Which melody was that?
I'm not sure which one. Not
No,
sure, but
I'd be really interested to hear that.
yeah. I mean, it was. I think I shared this song. It was the one about the Palestine one.
Uh-huh.
Is it? Are you from Munich? Were you born in Munich? Is that right? Am I right in thinking?
No, I was born in a place called Geislingen an der Steiger, which is I mean it's not far from Munich, but
Bavaria.
it's not in Bavaria. No, I'm not from Bavaria. I was bred and born in Baden-Württemberg, which is kind of to the west of Bavaria.
Right, right.
Well, I was born there, but I was bred in Scotland. So,
Okay. It's,
in fact, I'm going to go there. Going to be in Germany this summer.
all right. Just for pleasure.
My partner's working for a week,
Right.
uh, teaching in uh, Ravensburg, so it's not far from where my family come from in Germany. So
Okay.
hopefully go and visit some of my relatives there. I don't get to see very often.
No, I was over there and it's the lakes and the mountains and it's quite like some of it reminds me of like the Scotland as well.
Yeah.
Listening to the record made me a bit homesick as well, just for traveling around the countryside. It's kind of really good job. So
Thanks.
almost like emotional and homesick listening to it, you know?
Well, it's funny that it would make you homesick for Scotland since it's from Nova Scotia, but then,
Oh,
there's probably an element of homesickness in the fact that the people in Nova Scotia were keeping these songs alive, and why, which particular songs they wanted to keep singing, because, some of the Scottish ballads obviously survived in, North Carolina and places like that as well,
yeah.
Kentucky. But it's kind of slightly different repertoire of songs that survived. People are singing different kinds of songs in Kentucky and North Carolina than they are in Nova Scotia and Canada for whatever reason. It's like just a different way of remembering the old country or something.
This language is really important. And like even with I don't know, I'll go back to these like the Arabic language or Ukraine and I mean I've got friends in Glasgow, their kids are going to the Gaelic schools now and it's kind of coming back. And you get bands like Kneecap that are you've heard of them, right? Going on about
Yeah,
they're saving the Irish language and they're
yeah.
going back to kicking the Brits out and it's kind of strange. But also it's beautiful to hear these songs in this language and also even though I don't speak the language, it seems to ignite something inside it, some memory from maybe a distant. People say that your memories get passed through the generations.
No, totally. I mean, I guess you must have some sort of Highland
Definitely.
ancestry
My
in there. Yeah,
father's West Coast. I'm MAC capital D McDonald,
yeah,
and it's if you go up to like the West Coast, you know how these islands are split in two. The north is all the Catholics, McDonald's, and the south is the McDonald's, and they're fighting like
right.
what I can't even remember. It's up in Shetland. There's one island that's split in two, isn't there? You
Uh,
up in Uist, or the north and the south.
all right. Okay. Yeah, and Lewis is quite Protestant, I think. Um, that's where Mary's from, the singer on the record.
Okay, that's what I think. That's where maybe my father's side are from.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful up there. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we'll get the chance to do some gigs up there. It's just that the time that we chose to do the tour is when the national mod is happening. So
all right.
everyone's going to be at the mod in Inverness. And so like some of the venues just aren't booking anything for that period. So maybe we need to rethink. But yeah, I don't have Gaelic at all, really. I mean, I'm kind of a perpetual learner. Like I've always been sort of dabbling in it, never really learned it fully.
That's
But
what I was going to ask. I suppose you just learn the songs and then you learn the words probably come up again. I mean,
yeah,
the ninth track is called High Horrors Horo Nigel. How do you say it?
Hi horo snahoro ela.
He Horrors
Hi
Nahoro Nigel.
horo snahoro ela.
So what does that mean?
It doesn't really mean anything. It's what's called vocables. It's basically like diddly diddly dee. Like
Oh, right. He Horror, because that's like the Yeah. It's like when people are sort of using the folk cliche, they go, "Hey, do."
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know. It's there. It's like a chorus that has made of syllables that don't have any semantic meaning. You know, they just maybe there's like an aid. It's like easy for people to join in with the chorus if they
Right.
don't have to learn words. They just learn a set of vocables which come up in all different kinds of songs. You know, a lot of the walking songs. You know, they have the songs that they use for fooling the tweed, which they used to do by hand and have these work songs that went with it. A lot of these songs have vocable kind of choruses, refrains as well.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. Have you got anything else you want to talk about? 'Cause
Uh, Nothing in particular, no.
no questions for me.
Um, I like your flag and your mug and your ball of Buckfast.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just gonna for a it's like medicinal, you know, like old. I think that's what Buckfast is. It's for old grannies to get to sleep, even though it's full of caffeine.
Yeah.
I'm like a bit of an old granny now myself, you know. So
Can you get it there? And
they were
uh,
selling it in the supermarket for €2, so I was like, okay,
oh, really? Wow.
get it for medicinal reasons. I don't know, probably couldn't get rid of it, but I mean, they get it in Magaluf, obviously, you know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
in Sawyer. I don't know if you've been. Have you been to Mallorca?
I have a couple of times, yeah.
I'm in Sawyer, which is actually a kind of French part of it.
Okay.
There's a German part, there's a Scottish part, there's an Irish part. It's quite
Uh-huh.
strange. I don't know. It must have been in the 60s when they had the package tours. All the people they want to go to the same place.
Uh-huh.
So you
When
go
you
to,
when you say it's the French part, you mean that French tourists go there? Or
yeah, well, then there's French buildings, French culture, because of
okay.
it was a direct, I think it was just because of the side the island's on, it was the way the boats went backwards and forwards.
Is it quite near? It's quite near Palma, no?
I mean, everywhere is like 45 minutes from Parma, but I'm on the opposite coast from Parma.
Oh, it's on the opposite coast, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Need to look at a map again.
Aye, aye.
I've been there a
Yeah.
couple of times, Palma. I've been to Palma a couple of times to
Aye.
play.
And you played in Dea, right?
Didn't play there. I visited there.
Aye.
Um, yeah.
If I was going to organise something, I might try and get hold of that Robert Graves' son, Thomas.
Thomas.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
maybe try and do something in the old house, you know, because Donovan played there
Oh yeah. Recently, or
a couple of years ago. I met him at the airport as well. It was quite interesting to meet him.
uh-huh.
Because he's a big like I prefer Donovan to Dylan actually. I must have it's fun. I don't know why. I like maybe I relate to it more. I mean
Right.
Dylan I think Dylan's like separate. He's not actually music, he's just his own thing. Dylan's Dylan, music's music. Somehow I don't know
Right. I think
what
what
are
you
your
mean.
thoughts on I mean, are you a Dylan fan or a Donovan fan or
Yeah, probably. Yeah, more of a Dylan fan. I don't really listen to Donovan really, but
you'd be
yeah. I mean,
surprised. You'd be surprised at some of his tunes. It's a
yeah. I need to do more of a deep dive, I think.
It's a bit like when you mentioned the Beach Boys, people are like, the Beach Boys, but then you like some of the songs are not what you would expect.
Yeah, yeah. But even with Dylan, like I'm not like I know people that are just obsessed with or become obsessed with Dylan and then they just disappear for years and that's all they listen to, and I've
My
not really done
cousin,
that.
my cousin Francis was doing a thing in stereo at the weekend, I think. You know Francis, yeah?
All right. Yeah.
So I think he done a whole night. He's obsessed by Dylan.
Yeah.
So he done a whole night of cover versions or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
How long have you been living there?
I'm here 20 years, man.
And how did you end up there?
Well, besides from the climate and the nature, there was there's always a woman behind everything, right? Every move any man makes, there's a woman behind it, I think.
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree?
Guess so. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
see.
all the greats were probably all the great people, artists, musicians. There's always a woman behind it.
So was that woman from Mallorca?
She's actually from Galicia, which is another sort of Celtic. She's like super. She's more like white and Celtic than I am because I'm kind of more dark because of my I'm
Yeah.
more Mediterranean. So it was kind of a weird combination. Um,
Yeah.
my son's now 12, and I mean, he's like. I was going to make a joke about, Central C. Have you heard of this trap guy? And my son's obsessed by Central C and Eminem and all that. That's what he's into.
I don't know Central C, no.
Central C has got a new album out called You Can't Rush Greatness.
Okay.
And I was going to interview you like you were Central C, but then I thought I'd drop that idea.
I need to find out about Central C first.
He's got he's all diamonds and gold, and he's got like Queen Elizabeth here, and he's always got the Union Jack. I mean, it's pretty nauseating.
Really? Okay.
But he's the first sort of rapper, UK rapper, to make it in America. I mean, he's made it, which is nobody else really made it, you know.
Right.
And
Hmm.
I mean, he's got crazy lyrics, like really misogynist.
Oh, okay.
And like I don't know what to do with my son, you know, because he loves it and he's singing all his songs about. One of the big lyrics of his big songs is "You call me homophobic, but my bitch is gay," right? And that's him trying to be progressive.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's joking. I don't think he's joking, you know. I think
It reminds me of things that people said in my like high school, it's that kind of emotional maturity level.
yeah, it seems like things have went a
Hmm.
little bit backwards culturally and emotionally. I was talking to a guy, Brian Beattie, last night. I mean, and he was saying that it's true that things are dark and weird. It's not just that we're getting old.
No.
Things are pretty dark and weird right now, right? Do you avoid all that? I suppose?
Well, I think I kind of know what you mean, but I have a son, but he's not old enough to be getting into that. Yeah, he's only 4, so
All right.
I'm a bit anxious about when he gets to 12,
No,
13.
enjoy it, and really, I mean, those ages before that. Once you hit 6 or 7, that's it. I mean,
Mm,
you can't really protect. There's only so much protection you can give, and then you've got to be like,
yeah.
"Oh hell, make your own mind up."
Okay. Hmm. So, but do you have Spanish citizenship?
I'm a resident, but I don't
Uh,
have the passport. But yeah, I'm a resident, which is good for like free travel and health. But
okay.
I've got a teeth problem at the moment. I've got a 5 grand dentist bill.
Okay.
That's I miss. Yeah, in Scotland you got free teeth treatment. Tooth,
Mhm.
my
But if
teeth.
you were if you were a Spanish citizen, would you get free treatment or no?
No, I think the dentist here is a bit of a business, capitalist business. So
Hmm.
yeah, I've had a bit of trouble with that.
Right.
Um, I was going to ask you about. I've got the your friend. I would love to talk to him, the guy who makes the R.D. Lang documentaries.
Oh yeah, look, yeah.
I asked him if he's up for like a conversation. I'd love to talk. I mean, people really love him, you know. There's an artist, Momas. I don't know if you've heard of him, but
Oh
he's
yeah.
always saying,
Mhm.
yeah, I think they really love his work.
Okay.
Do you see him often or?
Yeah, it's funny when you sent that message. I was actually in his house.
Oh, God, right.
That's why I took that photo and sent it.
Ah,
He lives just up the hill from me. He lives on the same street.
right. Has he got a young family as well? Yeah, probably does.
He's got a kid, yeah.
Aye.
Maybe about 11, but maybe the same age as your son. Maybe a bit younger.
When I lived in Glasgow, like maybe when I was about 30 years ago. I'm sure we were in the same circles in the same apartments and kicking
Yeah.
around. I mean, we must you're the same. You're like 55, right?
No, I'm a bit younger. I'm 47.
But Luke is like the same as me, no? Is he a bit younger as well, huh?
He's younger than me, actually. He's
All right.
46, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we're
Just precocious.
pardon?
Just precocious, you know.
Precocious. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, he was probably hanging around with like 30-year-olds when he was, 18.
Yeah, he was hanging around the art, the transmission and all that.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have been. Yeah,
I got cancelled before it was a thing.
yeah.
From that scene, you know.
Right. Why?
I'll tell you the story quickly. I mean, it involved Dave Shrigley, Douglas Gordon, and like super strong weed. And the thing that
Okay.
put me over the edge was I was buzzing like helium. They'd give me it. Douglas Gordon, Dave Shrigley, they gave me it. And it was a karaoke transmission Christmas party. And Charles Esch was singing I Left My Heart in San Francisco, right? Are you with me so far?
Yeah.
So I was in the corner, like with Shrigley and Gordon smoking the strong weed, and then they gave me this helium buzz. Now, in the hindsight, I've read about helium, and it can give you psychotic. You can have a psychotic reaction to it, you know. And
Oh, no.
I was so somehow I ended up pouring ink over Charles Esch's head,
Right.
and it was a bit serious. I mean, he went in his eye, and I had to run away.
Oh,
Some
oh,
some other guy punched me. And that
oh,
was the end of my art career.
okay.
But it's pretty. It's kind of sounds funny looking back on it. But I mean, I lost. I was at the time. I lost. I was with Kathy Wilson at the time, and that relationship ended. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm sure you do.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Anyway,
An
that was.
artist.
Yeah, she's really. I think she's a great artist.
Right.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you got nothing to say about that story, though.
Just wondering if I do know her. I'm not sure. I was just trying to think. Probably do, but yeah.
You definitely do. Her work's brilliant. I mean,
What did
it's
she do?
it's really hard to describe. It's like it's like sculptures with mannequins, but it's like hard to. A recent thing she done about Ireland and someone getting shot in the head. Actually,
Okay.
it was in the Hunterian.
Okay.
Anyway, so I will talk to you again in about 6 months if that's okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, let me know about London because if you, I could probably put you on the guest list for that London
Current,
show.
I would be really interested to see what you're doing with Current 93 because it doesn't make any sense to me, you and them together.
Okay, I think it's on the 4th. Yeah. Or no, maybe it's the Saturday the 5th actually. Hold on, I'm getting the dates mixed up. Hold on, let me double check.
Saturday the 5th, I'm there the weekend before that, but I might stay because it's only 20 quid from Mallorca to London. It's
Okay.
very cheap to fly. It's impossible
No,
to get to Glasgow.
it is the 4th actually. It's the
And
4th.
it's a Saturday night.
No, Friday the 4th.
Okay.
Hastings is Saturday the 5th.
How
But,
far from Hastings is London?
a couple of hours.
Ah, right. And it's
Mm.
Dave Tibbett.
Yeah, David Tibet. Yeah.
How, is he like 70?
Let's see, he's in his 60s.
60s, huh? How did you get
Yeah.
involved with them just before you go? How did you get involved with them?
Um, I played a concert in Hastings, and David and some of his friends were there.